Hey, what's going on, everyone? And before you click away because you see this video is about mindset and you're like, boo-hoo, I'm not here to learn about mindset. I want to learn about Facebook ads. I promise you, you're going to want to watch this video because otherwise you're going to lose a lot of money, and I know you don't want to lose money. So definitely stay tuned and check out and learn from this video about the right mindset you need in order to succeed with Facebook ads over the long term. Hey, what is going on, everyone? Alvaro here from Alvaro Barrios Digital, and today I'm talking about mindset, which, yes, is probably not what you expected or maybe what you even want to hear, because most people, when they ask me Facebook ad questions, it's about, hey, what's the best targeting, what's the best, objective, and what buttons should I be pressing inside of Ads Manager, and all that kind of stuff is fine. There's nothing wrong with those questions at all, but the truth is mindset is still a very, very big part of Facebook ads and any type of success you may achieve. And so not enough people are talking about it, and more people need to know about this, which is why I wanted to cover it in today's video. So when it comes to Facebook ads, I always say there's two types of advertisers. There's the gambler and there's the investor. And those are the two different types of mindsets. The gambler just throws together a bunch of stuff and hope it works. It's literally no different than, going to a casino, putting your coins in the slot machine, pulling the lever, and hoping you hit triple sevens, right? You might hit it, and that's great. Awesome. Congratulations. You now have a lot more money and it paid off, right? But you can also pull that lever a million times and never get anything and lose a lot of money. And you're not going to understand why, right? Because you're like, I'm just pulling this lever and hoping something works. Nothing stuck when I threw the spaghetti to the wall. Whereas there's also the investor, and a smart investor, there's day traders and there's long-term investors. A long-term investor is going to look at things very differently, right? Because it's not just about what can they achieve today at this very moment. It's about what they can achieve over the span of 6 months, 12 months, a year, 10 years, 20 years. And that's exactly the mindset that you need in order to run successful Facebook ads. You really want to be an investor and do everything very intentionally, because if you don't do everything intentionally, I promise you, you're going to lose a lot of money. I see so many people lose money with their Facebook ads, and it's because they weren't being intentional with their actions. What I mean by that is that a lot of times people will tell me, oh, Facebook ads don't work for me. I did this, that, and the other, and it just didn't make any money. And then when I ask them questions or even take a look at their ads, I'll be like, okay, so what was your strategy here? What were you testing over here? And the answer is, oh, I don't know. I just, put together some ads and, see if they did anything. And that's completely the wrong approach, right? You want to be very scientific. Facebook ads are a scientific process, right? There's always moving variables in every single campaign, and until you do some testing, you're not going to know what is going to work and what's not going to work. So anytime you launch any campaign, be very cognizant of what it is that you're actually trying to figure out. And it's best to try to figure out one thing at a time, right? You can try to figure out multiple things, but it gets very complicated. So for purposes of simplicity, I definitely recommend just really focusing on testing one thing at a time, right? So maybe test your targeting in one, test your objectives another time, test your offer and your landing page another time. And each time you're just trying to figure out what works and what doesn't, and you're trying to get that feedback. The smart investor with the right mindset, even when something doesn't work, it's not a loss, right? The gambler would see that as a loss because they just threw something up, it didn't work, and it's like, oh shoot, I lost my money, and now Facebook ads don't work for me, so therefore I'll never use them again. But the person with the right mindset, the Facebook ad investor, so to speak, they're going to see that as a learning experience. Even though they may have lost some money, and it doesn't feel good, it never feels good to lose money on something, they learn something, and they learn that something doesn't work, and they know never to repeat that again, right? And then they just move on to the next thing, right? And maybe that also doesn't work, but they're paying very, very close attention to everything that's going on. And each time it's a learning lesson, a learning lesson, and a learning lesson. And then eventually they figure out the magic formula that's going to work for them for a very, very long time, for years and years to come, and generate very strong ROI for their business. So that is the type of mindset you want to have with Facebook ads. You want to think like a long-term investor, not a day trader, not a gambler. You want to think like a long-term investor, because if you think like a day trader or a gambler, you might make a lot of money. Who knows? That still is possible, but most likely you're going to lose a lot of money and you're not going to know why. Whereas if you're more like the long-term investor, you're going to know exactly why something is or isn't working for you. And then further down the line, once you're scaling, you know never to go back to those things that never worked for you in the past. So those are definitely the mindsets, or the mindset I should say, that you want to have for Facebook ads. And things do take time to figure out. It's not, something that you throw up a Facebook ad, even when you're being intentional about what's being tested, you shouldn't expect it to work right out of the gates. I know you hear all the stories all the time of someone started running Facebook ads for the very first time and then just started raining cash for them. Yes, that does happen on occasion, but I can promise you those are unicorns. That's, not the experience for 99.9% of all the other advertisers out there, right? So for 99.9% of the people on the platform, it takes time to figure things out, right? You're probably not going to figure it out in month one. There's a high probability you're not going to figure it out in month two, and you might finally figure things out in month three. So it's 3 months of that scientific process of testing, analyzing, making decisions and conclusions based off of the data that you're getting, and not treating it like a loss, but treating it like a learning experience. So hopefully that makes sense to you, and it is something that you can start applying to your business. That way you can be much more strategic and intentional with everything that you do with your Facebook ads. And if you found this information useful and you would like to figure out a way to work with me, head on over to alvarobarrios.com/FBhelp. In there, you're going to fill out a very brief application to let me know a little bit more about you, your business, and your current situation. And then once I receive that, I'll take a look at it, and then we'll actually hop on a call. There's a couple of different ways that we can work together based upon where you are at with your business and what your specific goals are. If you found this video helpful, please support the channel by hitting that like button, and leave your comments below. Let me know what else you would like for me to cover, and I'll try to cover it as best as possible. And if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. That way you don't miss any new videos when we put them out. That's all I've got for you today. Take care and see you soon.